So today's topic is how to play D&D. Actually, let me switch that. Boom. So how to start playing D&D for gamers. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways we can go about this conversation here. But there's a couple of questions that I want to focus on. Okay. So before we kind of get into the all the meats and potatoes, I just want to make sure all you who are here today, first episode, yeah. So go ahead and right, and and not don't like for me, like for Critical Role, if you know who that is, just like the button, right? But what I want to do is make sure I'm explaining how you can interact with me, how you can come on the live stream with me because I want to talk to you. Okay, so if you have a question or advice on today's topic, go ahead and write your question in the chat. I will do my best to read it, or your advice. I'll make sure to do my best to read it, right? But I want to focus on people who want to come onto the live stream. So if you want to come to the live stream, I want you to kind of ask, right? So so if you can see scrolling in the bottom, type question mark slash a brief idea of your question, or A for advice slash brief idea of your advice. Once I call your name, so example, I go Terrasol Arcaf, go ahead and click on that StreamYard link. You're gonna find the StreamYard link right above here, right pinned to the top of the chat, or you can find it pinned to in the description of the video. Okay, so make sure don't have any music in the background, right? Otherwise, this video might be taken down. Keep language. I just cussed earlier, right? Shit, fuck, whatever. But do your best not to just go out and be like beep 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 beep, beep, right? All that good stuff. Just keep it friendly as much as you can. And really, that's about it. Okay, so I wanna conversate with you guys. Okay, so with that, this is what I want to focus on. There's kind of three questions that I want to focus on, and so it's like, what do gamers need to get started with playing D&D, right? How should gamers get started with Dungeons and Dragons? So a little bit different of like how, or like how should, and then why would a gamer want to start playing D&D? There's a lot of differences. Okay, so I want this to be interactive. So which question, right? Scrolling in the bottom, which question do you guys want? Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. So what do gamers need to get started playing D&D? And while you guys are telling me which question I want to start with, I'm going to read Arcat's message here. How to play D&D step 1, roll initiative. Okay. Against the greatest enemy in all of D&D, scheduling conflicts. Okay. That can be true. Step 2, turnout, scheduling conflicts. Got some more in hand. Okay. So but we're not even there yet, right? That can be an issue, right? But we're not even there yet. So let's start with the first question. What do gamers need to get started playing D&D, right? So what you need is you need some dice, right? You need some pencils. You need some materials, right? So a lot of people out there, they're always like, hey, preach, go ahead and buy the books, go all do this. I said there's basic rules that you can find for free, right? If you go to and I mean this is a live stream. I'm here for you guys, okay? So let me go ahead and open up a new tab. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, chat's over there. We got this. So I think you can go to what was the website? It's not D&D Beyond, but it's literally Dungeons and Dragons. And it's the rules, right? It's like free rules that you can find on their website. The basic rules for Dungeons and Dragons. So you can buy that free, all right? One of my favorite places to go though for all rules, right? And there's like a PDF down here. Boom, you can download it, get started. You don't even have to buy it. So and you read over, get going. But one of the places I like to go for Dungeons and Dragons is Wikidot. For D&D 5e .wikidot. And literally it has like everything up to date. Freaking love it. And like what I mean up to date, when something new comes out, like a new book comes out, They're pretty on top of all the spells and great resource. And I'm not sure why no one goes and talks about it. All you hear is just D&D Beyond, which is great. But it is a paid service, and if you want to have everything in one place, great, cool. But sometimes you just want to game on the cheap, right? So that's what we're here for. Um, I see Arcath, you wrote, personally recommend Chessex for dice. Yes, so yeah, I'll have my dice over here. Oh. No, just spilled everything. That's okay though. But essentially got my dice tray. I gotta make sure you do. Here's a good rule for gamers: do not step on the D4. It is sharp and it will freaking tear a hole through your foot. Okay, so let's not do that. But um, but yeah, you got your dice tray. That's probably another good tool, right? So there's a couple of basic things as you get started that you will that you, when you as you're learning, that you might want to have. Okay, let me go ahead and switch my screen here. There we go. But so I guess like, yeah, what is like your guys' questions when it comes to, excuse me, over here. There we go. To what do so like a first time player, a gamer needs to get started? What would they need? Right. Again, this is more conversation back and forth here, so we can really dive in. What is it that you're wondering about, or maybe you want to share your advice? So, but like I was reading, our Kathy said you personally like the chess dice, so that's the name of a brand. They're among the most balanced and reliably obtainable dice out there. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Some of the fancier looking dice might not be the most balanced. So for those who he's talking about balance, is there is this salt water test that you can do, and essentially some unbalanced dice, if it's unbalanced to roll really good numbers all the time, then you're gonna do that dice. You're gonna be like, yeah, this is my favorite dice. I'll always get really good numbers. But you also might get a set of dice where it rolls only bad numbers and you're unaware. So you can do a test to make sure that your dice are in good condition and working condition, right? Because there are manufacturers out there that just print dice like quickly, and it's you know no good essentially. But can get better and free. Exactly, can get better and free website, right? So definitely check out the I'm totally forgetting the name of the website, but it's D&D Wiki. Yeah, I'll put it up again. Boom. So yeah, dnd5e.wiki.com, and I really love it. Like you go by races, spells. What I really like is just take barbarian for example. Kind of takes that page of the main class, and then I love the subclasses, right? Like all subclasses really kind of that again. They're all right here for you, and it tells you from which source. So if you ever go out, and you're considering like, oh yeah, I want to go out and buy that book, and you want to support Dungeons and Dragons, then you know exactly which book to buy. So this Ancestral Guardian is from Senator's Guide to Everything, right? And it literally has like the whole subclasses, right? So this is how I got started, right? I didn't have all the like bunch of cashers throw into this, you know. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. We talked this. Yeah, I know. No, okay. Um, so that didn't sound good. Watch where you step. Yes, D4s double as caltrops. Yes, they will stay in your foot forever. You're going to have you need some surgery. But yeah. Again, please let me know if you got questions on that here. Let me go switch this back. Boom. Okay. So let me know if you got questions on that topic. But it sounds like you guys are pretty familiar with D&D here. But I want to make sure we're providing some value for those who are just really just considering it for the first time. I'm not going to call on you, Terso, only if you want to. Again, so I'm going to give you an example. If you want Two, ask your question, come on the stream with me. You're gonna do question mark slash, and then you're gonna type like just a brief idea of your question, something like that. Or if you want to give your advice, um, and then you put a brief idea of your advice. Okay. Um, but it does seem to intrigue you. Okay. So let me ask this question to you guys who are here. So Alexander just read your message. Tell me, what is it about D&D that intrigues you guys? Right? What is it that intrigues you? Is it just that it's people sitting around a table with pens and papers, rolling dice? Is it the stories? Is it the battles? Right? Definitely want to know, what is it that attracts you to the game? Right? Just here to make bad jokes. Okay, please be our local tavern comedian. I appreciate it, Arkath. Pointing out Battle Rager is the best barbarian subclass. Um, don't listen to that advice. I've been working on a homebrew version of Battle Rager for a while. Just hadn't gone to around to making those videos, so maybe I'll share them. But, but yeah, let me know. Again, I know some of you guys are shy. Totally get it, but definitely here to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, but while you guys giving out your advice on what do gamers need to get started playing D&D, let's I kind of want to switch over to, why would someone like a gamer who's used to playing Fortnite, uh, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Call of Duty, why would somebody, Mario, why would someone like that, see all these cool graphics, want to switch over to something that has no graphics at all, right? Like, so I think that there is well, actually, before I even say my opinion here, I just want to make sure I'm reading. So Turso, you said, honestly, being able to try to bring a character to life just sounds fun. Also, for clarification, I'm a guy. I know the username doesn't help. I get you. I get you, bro. Okay. So, but cool. So, Taro's saying bring a character to life, right? In a video game, you you the developer creates the character, right? Everything from their name to how they look like, how tall they are, what they're wearing, where they're from, right? What is their ambitions? What is their goals, right? In this case, for D&D, you are taking your everything that and putting it into your own hands. You decide if you want them to look like Goku, or you want them to look more like Naruto or One Piece, right? You're gonna go all anime style, but literally, you decide how they're gonna look like, what they're wearing, how tall, how eyes. Like, if you want to get that detail with it, you can decide where they're from, what is their goals. Like, are they an orphan? And they're looking to get revenge on some evil dude, or are they evil and they're just looking to loot every single house they can find, like in Skyrim, you know? So it's making you the writer, essentially. So if you ever wanted to, like, it's yeah, like kind of like being a writer, right? You're creating your own story, which is great. um Arkoff, you wrote, what attracts me about D&D is all the different fun characters I can make in D&D via the use of flavor brew. My favorite characters so far are a biker kobold, okay, a grandma turtle, and a hammer bro. Hammer bro, expand on me what you mean by hammer bro. So it did, like, I'm thinking if that's from Mario, but so you did you use the turtle? Like, just tell me what race you're using for that. But yeah. So when you said, so reading that back, you said using flavor brew. Essentially, just like flavor, like home brew is a term for, like, what sort of customizations you're doing to your character, right? So essentially, the flavor is biker, right? So now I'm taking kobolds a class. They're like little lizard dudes. Um, they look like this. So I'm gonna show it, right? This is for you, right? This is for your the first time people here. So let's look up kobolds real quick. They're like little lizard dudes, and they can kick your butt if there's a bunch of them. So be careful. Here's if you're playing. So they look like that, right? They use traps. They're very witty, right? Because they're small. Um, but all of a sudden now you make them kind of biker vibes. So maybe they got a leather jacket, um, and got some shades, some sort of shades, some medieval shades. Um, and maybe instead of a motorcycle, they're riding on a two-wheel wagon of some sort that gets pulled or something like that, right? Maybe it's magical. So now you're combining that flavor brew. So that's what he was talking about. Okay, so Hammer Bro, you said a turtle battlesmith, which is artificer subclass, right? So you got classes. You think like a lot of games. You got wizards, fighters, barbarians, necromancers. That's your class, right? Battlesmith is like a one deeper under subclass. Name Armand Hammer. His steel defender is his brother. Okay, so steel defender is kind of like a little companion guy that you get for the subclass. Name Sick Il Ham. I hope I'm totally butchering the name, but Hamar, or probably just Hammer, right? Sick Il Hammer. Okay. Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. Together, there are the brother Hammers. Hamar. Hammer or Hammers. But as the biker kobold, it's a steel defender as well. I got the idea from Descent into Avernus with the doubles ride. Okay, awesome. So yeah, definitely feeling that vibe there. Awesome there. Cool. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. Okay, and again, this is a place to really make sure your voice is being heard, and at the same time, if I don't know the answer to a question you might ask, I'll make sure next time I come by, do my research, give you the best answer that I can next time. Okay, but um, I think that brings us to that second question that I was asking. Why would a gamer want to start playing D&D, right? So you got all these cool freaking graphics out there, right? I don't even know. I think my nephew right now, he's excited about the new Dragon Ball Tenkaichi. I'm totally butchering that up, but the Dragon Ball Z fighter game, and he's all super excited about it because other people were excited about it. That trailer came out, they're like, and he's like, oh my god, this sounds cool. And when you take a person like that, it's like you visually see a lot of stuff. Um, it's kind of it almost seems like it doesn't make sense. But for me, I was always a more of an MMORPG player. So shout out to all those guys who played Tibia back in the day. That was what I was doing. Um, but you got your World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy is really popular right now for 14. Um, and a couple of years ago, that was all I was really doing, and but there was a point where it just really got boring because all of a sudden it just wasn't exciting anymore, right? Maybe too much of the dopamine release where you do something successful in the game, you get like yes, and now it's the next thing. And the thing, especially with any sort of MMO that you level up, so it can be like Destiny. I think Gears of War you level up, right? Um, any game that you level up, eventually it's like, okay, well, I'm just, I'm at level 89, now I'm level 90, and like now things aren't changing as much. Um, Eventually, you know, you're just kind of in this zone where you're just really just playing by yourself. You're testing yourself, right? You're out in a whole different league. Um, so when it came to me, um, a lot of the games now are designed to really not do with other people. It's just kind of yourself, and you might join some people for like a raid or dungeon of some sort, activity. But then you don't really interact with them anymore. So just so you know, I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons since I was a little kid, right? I came into Dungeons and Dragons for the very first time. I think it was around like 2018, and I didn't start playing until 2019. But it was like 2018 when I first noticed it. I was like 28, right? Growing up, it was like the geeky thing, and now what all I'm seeing is a bunch of it's more common now, right? You can go to if it's anybody's in high school, or if you have a cousin or a brother and sister that's in high school, you probably heard that there is some sort of um, like D&D club, or at least like after school or something like that. And that's a whole different shift now compared to what it was before. Um, but anyways, getting on the topic, I stopped gaming because it just wasn't. It felt like it wasn't fun for me anymore, and it wasn't social. Like it wasn't social. That was one of the biggest things that attracted me to Dungeons and Dragons. All of a sudden, I asked some friends like, "Hey, I'm really interested in playing this game. Who wants to play with me?" And all of a sudden, there was like 20 people that were totally down to play. And I had no clue, right? I'm over here like trying to like milk the last amount of fun from like a video game as much as I can. And then over here is like, oh, I could have been hanging out with these people all along, right? Instead of just like hanging out with them online, which is a lot different. Um, I don't know. Like, go ahead and let me know what was kind of the reason that you guys got started. I'm not sure if it was anything like that for you guys, but I guess like I put some pros and cons. Thank you for the 100s. I really appreciate the all the activity from you guys. Okay. Um, but as far as like pros and cons, right? The pros of why starting, you're able to interact with real life people around you in the table, enjoy something that might have been super geeky, like over like 10 years ago, and now it's considered just another activity, another hobby. Um, I mean, still people out there who consider it geeky. Um, it's kind of I'm kind of funny in a way. So there's probably people out there who play Magic the Gathering, so that's a card game. You probably seen if you don't know what Magic the Gathering is, you've probably seen it with the people who played like Yu-Gi-Oh when you were growing up in high school, right? But so it's just those card type of games, and for some reason, I find that a lot geekier than playing D&D. But then Magic people are always like, no, like freaking D&D's a lot geekier. So I call Magic Gathering people nerds. That's what I do. Um, let's see here. So Tara, you wrote, D&D can be one of the funniest games. Some of the times I laugh the artists. It's been watching somebody play D&D. I laughed at the artist. It's been watching somebody play. I'm not sure what you mean by that last part. I'm assuming that you mean that you kind of watch some other people, some maybe like some groups like Dimension 20, Critical Role, and you enjoy watching them play. Um, but yeah, like because you're able to because when you're hanging around the table, um, like you're just gonna crack jokes because you are with your friends. Freaking so Steven, who's supposed to be my co-host today, but he broke his arm kind of again. um Last week here, so he's not here with me today. But he's always making freaking jokes. Probably dick jokes. You know what I mean? And it's like my reaction is like, yeah, fucking not again. Right? But it's always funny because it always gets a reaction at everyone at your table, right? Other pros, you might be drinking if you're of age and you enjoy drinking at your table. You can have just have a party, right? That's one of the pros there. Tara, you meant to say the hardest. Okay, gotcha. Um, so Arcady said only nerds play card games, video games, and TTRPG. Wait, oh my god, wait. Are we there? Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like video game, like gamers are nerds too, right? Just a different type of nerds, right? Like tell me somebody who doesn't play Kingdom Hearts and not like fanboy over Kingdom Hearts. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously a bunch of Kingdom Hearts like cosplay, you know, all the time. I saw when first when cosplay started getting popular at first, you know, this is like freaking 15 years or 10 years now. Like it was more there was more Kingdom Hearts cosplay I felt versus like Final Fantasy cosplay. But anyways, kind of get off topic there. But it is. At least that means I'm not a full nerd yet. You have time to save yourself, Taro. Run away while you still can, bro. Um, okay, so those are the pros, right? You're able to hang out with your friends at tables, um, and really just enjoy a game together. And literally, once you're done, you can, you know, really, if you still want to play, like, hey, don't want to talk to you again until I see you next time. Cool, right? But you guys can go get something to eat afterwards, or just, you know, it's just different, definitely. But what's a con? What's a con of, you know, why gamer, you know, want to stick with games? You know, why you know what? I guess like what's the worst part of D&D is kind of what we're asking here. First thing that came in mind was what Arkev said. Um, it can be hard to schedule games, right? Sometimes, you know, you guys say, "Oh, you guys gonna meet up on Thursday? What time?" 7. Okay. Oh, dang it. Dylan said that he can't make it on Thursdays. Can we try Sunday? Oh, dang. Oh, Mike can't make it on Sunday. What about Sarah on Saturday? She's got work on Saturday. Yeah, it gets crazy, right? But is that really a reason to not start? I wouldn't say is yeah, I wouldn't say it's not, right? Um yeah, I'm trying to think of some things. What do you think? What's the worst part? The DM overruler. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so essentially maybe one of the pros is being able to hang out with your buds, but if maybe it is a friend of yours or somebody you don't know, the DM is the dungeon master. They're the ones telling the story, right? They're telling you in the world of Skyrim there was dragons and lots of lockpicks that always broke, right? That's the dungeon master is the one creating the world. Um, they sometimes somebody who's not experienced or they're not as I guess I could say not as social intelligent maybe. Um, they'll be rude, right? They make the game to fit what they want from the game, and that's okay because maybe they're a beginner, right? When you're first starting, the DMing is probably the hardest role when it comes to playing Dungeons and Dragons, and maybe might be one of the reasons why you won't get started. You might not be able to find one somebody who's someone who's not willing to actually do that, um, or your quality. I guess the biggest thing is the quality of your game really depends on the experience or how good your dungeon master is, right? If you have someone who's been playing for a matter of years, um, then your quality of game is going to be better. So um, versus someone who's not. And I guess the example that kind of popped up into my head here is so for those who know Dorman Dad, um, so when I invited people, it was my first time DMing, and I did the best I can, right? But my best wasn't as good as his worst, right? He had been playing for I think like 10 years at that point, right? So when he DM'd, it was like I noticed there was like a way different level and skill, and the game was able to like flow nicer and just like um there's different things, right? Different qualities about it. Um, so that could be something that might stop you. What do you guys think of someone who is maybe say like, oh, you know what, I'm kind of antisocial. I just don't want to talk to other people and play a video game. I just want to show up and and play a video game. What do you guys think of that? All right, let me know what you guys think of that right now, and I'll check something real quick. Just make sure that the stream is quality is going good. Okay, yeah, we're doing good. Cool. And again, please join the conversation. If you're watching here, and then yep, feel free, Atara or Arkath, feel free if you want to join, be on the stream, bro. You guys can, if you like. All you gotta do is just click on that StreamYard link found on the top of that. Boom, there we go. I was trying to point at it, top of right there, or in the description. But let's see. Yeah, I was forgetting my question. What was the question? Okay, but I'm not here. Maybe you guys are taking your time typing. But okay. I'm trying to think of something else that might be a reason why somebody wouldn't get started. But okay, so just reading the chat. So Tara, you say honestly not too sure. I'm just awkward and have a hard time talking as well. All right, yeah, and it's totally okay if you're awkward and have a hard time talking. Just know that everyone is like that, right? Um, and the only way you get better of not being awkward or talking is um by practicing it, right? So I'm not perfect either when I'm talking, but if you just keep going, right, have the idea that you have in mind, then it will come out and you will get better with your words. Um, but that's where you're at right now. That's okay, right? And so essentially, it's kind of self doubt, right? Your own self doubt of being out there can't stop you from starting. But so Tara, earlier before we got started with the live stream here earlier at 6, um, you said that you would like to play, right? But it sounds like maybe this is one thing that's holding you back. Um, I think this might be a good moment. Is yeah, it kind of goes into the next question. But I'll hold on to my thought. Let me go ahead and read what Arkath said. Um, it's gonna be kind of hard to play D&D without communicating with the rest of your party. Not to say that you have to put yourself really far out there, but at least be willing to chat a bit. Yes. So when it comes to D&D, because you're visually not seeing something on the screen, right? You're you might you might have little figurines, a map to kind of to help you that your DM might give you, but everything is you're listening and you are giving back to the conversation, right? If you say there is a giant mouse, that giant rat on the floor, and it looks very hungry and it's coming your way, what do you do? Now your response should be reacting to the situation that is presented to you. You might take a broom that's in the corner, from the room and start whacking the rat, or you might take out your sword or cast a spell, fireball on it to get rid of it, right? So, and as long as you're doing that, then you're cool. You can totally play the cool the cool silent type, right? So Tara, you can be totally the cool edgy, like hair to the side, and like barely talks character, maybe leaning back on the table against the wall, right? And they said you just said it literally you just wrote I stabbed the rat, so you can be at the table and be I stabbed the rat, and the DM with what? Either with my dagger, I throw at it, or long sword. Okay, you do it, right? And then we roll like the damage for it or whatever it is, or maybe be like you killed it, right? So as long as you're able to interact with that, then that's all you really need, right? Don't feel pressured. For those, I'm not sure if any of you who are looking to just get started really know of any D&D shows like I mentioned, Critical Role or Dimension 20, or what was it, Fables 20? I think it's Fables. There's other shows like that, but don't get intimidated by them role playing their characters on the shows. It's more about what can you do, what can you bring to the table. Arcath, you say I fill a small container with rat poison and Mountain Dew. Oh well, yeah. I can see them drinking that, so that works. Um, but I think it's time to go here to kind of the third question here, which is the second question that's scrolling here in the bottom. Is how should gamers get started with Dungeons and Dragons? And I lost my idea. I know I should have wrote it down earlier. Um, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. And I apologize. That's what happens when you're kind of going back and forth a little bit. But but essentially, oh, now I remembered. Got it. So how should your gamers get started, right? Like essentially, what I'm saying is, um, what can you do to create a group? Because it's probably the biggest thing is creating a group is one of the biggest things. Um, and really, it's just leveraging what you have available to you. So I've never really been big on social media, so I always just use like Facebook whenever I do. So I reached out. I'm like, hey, at this point, I already have bought the starter set. So starter set is let me it's back there. Hopefully you can kind of see it. Let me move this. Bam. Okay. So the starter set is that green one in the middle, kind of right there. And I'll pull it up here on the screen so you can see. But essentially, that's one way to get started is buying um, these beginner adventures, right? Beginning games for you and your group. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So and there's a few of them now. There's three of them. There is the starter set. There's the Storm Islands, and there's the Essential set. Am I saying that right? But anyways, starter set 5e. Okay, let me switch over screens. Bam. Okay, so you can see a couple here. Here's the starter set for the Storm Island. This is more newer one. Here's the Essentials kit, is what it is, and then starter set. But this is always a good place to start. I started with the starter set, and generally, a lot of people say to start with this one because it gives you pre-generated characters, kind of has an adventure for you to follow for your players. Levels 1 through 5, really simple. I think they say, let me know if you guys know, but I think they say right now the newer one, the Dragons of Stormbreak, I can't say the word Isle. I just say island. Isle. Um, is the better one to get started for new beginners. But what I was saying though is I bought this one, the starter set, and at this point, I have already read majority of the adventure. I already had decided, I want to try this. How now I'm willing to be the dungeon master. I know I'm not going to be the best at this, but I want to see if anybody out there. So I popped up on Facebook, wrote exactly that. Hey, just got the starter set. I'm looking to play Dungeons and Dragons. Who's interested? And to my surprise, I got about like 20 people who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally down to do this." So, so one of the best ways to just get started is literally, if you're using Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, just write down, um, I'm looking to get started playing Dungeons and Dragons, and you can put, I just want to play as a player. I don't want a DM. If that's who you want to be, like, does anyone DM? Is there any groups that I can join? Right. You can always join like forum groups on those websites, like Facebook groups, or whatever else that they might have on social medias. Um, but literally, is just kind of getting past that little fear and really finding out if there's anybody out there who is interested, and then start creating a group. It's kind of creating a band for those who are musical. And like, hey, you wanna start a band, bro? Yeah, cool. All right, and just go for it. I'll go ahead and read here. So Archive said one way that you can start D&D is by going to the Find a Game section on the official D&D Discord. Look around for a group that plays at your time and accepts new players. Awesome. So again, like I mentioned, I only started, I mean, like about 4 years ago now to this point. So I'm no longer probably a newbie anymore. But I know there was ways to for you to go out and find groups, but I didn't even know that an official D&D Discord channel existed. Right. So let me just search for that. So um, official D&D Discord server, and then probably this one popped up, right? And then there it is. So you can totally, and you should be able to see this in the replay. I'm gonna post this in the chat so that when if you're viewing this at a later time, you're gonna see that in the chat in the bottom. Okay, you can just literally click on that and get going. So there is hundreds of different ways that you can get started. The only thing that's really keeping you is like yourself, right? It's just finding those ways. And if you're here and you really are considering it for the first time of like playing, then I'm encouraging you to take action right now, right? Start taking some action. Find a group. If you just say, "Hey, I just want to play," I want to play. Let's actually take a look here real quick because this is the first time here. So let me accept. Sure. Wants to open this application. Sure. Let's go. Continue. Oh, it's launching my app on the thingamajig. Here it is. And by the way, I got my Patreon stuff up there as well. You will get received a link to my Discord channel if you're interested. But it's there. Okay. Player. All right. So let's read his questions. So this is the first time I'm doing that, and you can do this as well. So are you a player, a dungeon master, or both? This will set your name color and a few channels. Okay. So I am a player, and am I a dungeon master? I'll say yes. Am I a great dungeon master? No. There's a lot of for me to still learn. Dungeons and Dragons. There's so much lore out there. So, and if you're not sure what lore means, like think of it. There's so many places. Like think of Elden Scroll, right? What's the freaking new game that just came out? Yeah, Elden Scroll, right? Am I saying that right? Um, a lot of little different locations. You got Breath of the Wild, the new Zelda game, right? There's locations, history. That's all lore, right? Of the game world. When it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, that there's people who've been playing for 20 years and they still don't know everything, right? So it doesn't really matter your experience too much with Dungeon Master. It's just you're going to do your best. What matters is that you do your best. Okay, next question. What part of the community are you interested in? So am I really D&D Beyond person? D&D Beyond is a nice, helpful website. Um, so I love this. Actually, I really love this. So let's go through this real quick. So D&D Beyond, it's a website you can go to, and they have the services. Again, it has all the books that you can buy digitally in a digital format if that's where you want to go about it. And you can create your characters there. You can play your games online there as well, and just a bunch of stuff. Right, you can find all your magic items, this and that. Adventure leagues are, um, yeah, they play with official rules only, right? So you can't customize things or be too lenient with it. It's pretty. The rules are the rules, and that's what you follow. Um, there's a lot of people who enjoy it. I probably would do eventually. That seems like something I would try, but I haven't yet. Unearthed Arcana, essentially, this is they're every once in a while they're releasing it currently right now. They're releasing things that they want to test. So the developers, Dungeons and Dragons, want to test in the public before they make official rules or official content for the game. So here, I haven't gone through the new one, but I know they added properties to your weapons more recently in the last playtest 5. Um, essentially where you can give a special type of abilities to your weapons. Where before there was nothing like that. It was just you have your sword and it does this much damage. Now you can have your sword and you can make enemy fall down, or if you miss, it'll still do some damage. So there's some cool stuff like that. But that's Unearthed Arcana. So I like Unearthed Arcana. I forgot I was clicking this for me. I can. Oh no. I'm like actually. Either way, I'll just click it for now. Lore and Legacy. Explore the history of D&D with the Lore and Legacy channel. Sounds cool, right? Again, people have been playing for 30 years and still don't know every single thing. Um, So homebrew and third party. So homebrew again, this is where you make up. And third party, essentially, they're creating their own variation of the rules, um, and in either to do it, they use it after home games, so that's what they call a homebrew. And third party might be like somebody who creates a product around their idea. There might be like a 100 different traps for your D&D games, and it's not official from the developers, right, from the actual Dungeons and Dragons, but they're probably selling something to make your games better, right? So that's a third party, just like a company out there who's creating a product for your games. Live play chat about Critical Role. Hey, there's Critical Role if you're watching this. Um, and other favorite live streams. So, a quick mention on on Critical Role, I guess, is before I got started. That's how I kind of founded actually playing D&D. Like I watched like this video. I was like, "What is this? This seems different." Earlier, I was mentioning that it just felt lonely playing like MMOs, right? Like I was like, there was nothing holding me there, and I watched it for a little bit, and okay, this seems interesting, and I watched and I saw some of the combat. I was like, "Oh, this looks really interesting," and then like literally I didn't do anything for like a year. I totally forgot about it, and then like a year later, I got super into it. It's like Critical Role popped up again. But essentially, Critical Role, they're a voice acting group. The professionals now at this point, and they play Dungeons and Dragons online. Um, and a lot of people got into them. And I was gonna say right here, I know a lot of people get excited about campaign 2. It was all about campaign 1. Okay, I went back when campaign 2 was already out. I was like, no, I don't want to start with 2. I want to start with 1. I want to know why these guys are so big. I went back. Campaign 1 really great. So I recommend start with 1. Okay, so you can look up Critical Role campaign 1. But anyways, essentially light play, and that's what we're going to be doing here on this channel once we're kind of up and rolling again. Do some light play, but just more battles, right? Um, but Critical Role and other things like Dimension 20, they're all about role playing your character and the situation that the Dungeon Master is presenting to them. Um, so awesome. So live stream play arts and crafts. Do like I do some crafts, but very little crafts. I think I pronounce the word Avray. Adds the channel to get in support from the Discord bot. Sure, because sometimes you just need help in life, bro. Okay, you just don't be shy to say I need help. Okay, and then advertisements. Share your D&D related live plays, podcast commission offer. Hey, that sounds like perfect for me, right? I'm making this. Boom. Okay, awesome. And then D&D Beyond is so lonely over there. I don't know. I just never ended up using it. I know it's popular. A lot of people like it. Great. You, check it out. All right. If you enjoy it, I think it does help a lot in getting your your game up and running faster. Or getting started in general, learning of how things go. I remember I did use the website. Um, fine, I'll do it. I remember I did use the website for the classes, or not the classes, the races, the character races. Um, when I first got started, and that was super helpful, right? And it was just there. But that was before I knew about D&D 5e.wiki. Okay, I'm telling you that website's pretty dope. Um, but show your flair, your chosen icon, if any, will show up besides your name. Okay, what's my flair? Pride, artificer. Ooh, now you put it on the spot. Okay, so a lot of my gamer side still carries over. I always was more of a fighter, but also like the healing classes. So I always look for like white knights. I remember in Diablo 3, I played a monk. Choices. But the monk is different here, and this is a little bit more martial arts. Like I do like paladins. I'm kind of fighter. I can't decide right now. Yo. Okay. Um. What which class do you guys like? Let me know what class you guys like there in the chat. Um. And you said, Tara, you think that Critical Role got a lot of people introduced into the yes, 100% it did. Now I'm looking over here on the side versus people in common. I like people will be in common. So I would say I'm going with fighter. That's just my style. But again, I've been on the druid kick lately. Can we just have to? Oh, we can pick more than one. Ha! Oh no, then we gotta change it. I haven't played cleric enough, but I'll go with fighter right now. But my heart's telling me bard. Follow the heart. Follow the heart. Here we go. Let's go. What should they call you? This is more just personal information. However, if you want, read the rules. Always read the rules, guys. Okay, make sure you always read the rules. Cool. So we're in here. Um, and if you never use Discord like me, cause freaking just I never really used them. This side right here is like your welcome screen, the rules to the channel, and I guess channel guide, so to help you out. Frequently ask questions, moderate support, so info and help, right? Um, and then general discussion, newcomers, and I'll take this and make my D&D server, right, my server a little better. um, so I'll follow some of the layout, but lore, right? So this is places where you can go and like literally ask your lore questions or get information. So cool. So now you know uh, that this is a resource. Check it out. Um, really dive in, third party stuff, D&D maps for this is craft stuff. Yeah, everything that you know that you signed up for is here. So only things that you're interested in, and in general, I'm always interested in everything when it comes to D&D. So cool. Anyways, going back over here to the screen, perfect. Um, we were chatting about how should gamers get started. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways, and really, when it comes to it, there's just yeah, just a bunch of ways. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of some different ways to add to that right now, but I'm drawing a blank here. Any questions for me at this time, guys? So questions for me? Any comments? Any advice? Right? Oh, and then lost 2K14. Sorry, I didn't see you there earlier. What's up? Hopefully he's still here. He's like, dang, this guy just ignored me. I'm just gonna run away. Okay. So Tara, you're saying I'm going to have to go. Yep, definitely. But I have had a lot of fun to stream, and definitely going to have to rewatch it after it's done. Thank you for all that advice. You're awesome. Thank you that this is helpful, even if it's one person here. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your comment that you gave earlier. Really means a lot. So thank you, man. But awesome. So we did cover a lot of here on the topic, which we wanted to focus on. Nobody on the live stream today. Again, we're going to put right there. Your face is going to be right there on the top right there, nice and big for everyone to see, and then we could go back and forth. But maybe on the next one, on Thursday, I'm planning on doing another one. Right, so Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, just come out, hang out. If you can drink, grab a beer. And yeah, so I wanna. It depends on the night, right? Depends on the night. I'll give it a couple minutes here. We're not quite done with the hour, but sometimes I'll at least for sure try to go the full hour. And if we need to go more on some certain days, maybe the conversation is really hot, we'll keep it going longer, right? Um, but yeah, let's see. Any advice you guys can offer? Anything that I did not cover? Last minute questions here, or any questions for me as we're wrapping up here. Yeah, and again, thank you for the party emotes. Yeah, party emotes, party emotes. Yeah, yeah. So Yeah, it's only an hour. Depends on the conversation, right? Depends on um what yeah, it really depends on the conversation, who's here, and you know where everybody wants to take it. But for right now, it seems like there's only a few of us, so we'll keep it right at our point. So Arcath, you're saying for some reason my messages aren't going through. Trying to recommend a certain website for minis. Just tell me the minis. Hero Forge, quick test. Hero Forge. Yeah, so maybe it's on my settings where you guys can't send links. But tell us why you like Hero Forge, and I'll show Hero Forge. And this is a place to get when miniatures for your table. Um, and I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen. Okay, but tell us why you like Hero Forge, um, Arcath. I can spell Hero Forge. Yeah, there it is. It's weird. Google always like the first link always never works. Okay, but essentially, what minis are is just like obviously earlier we were talking about how in D&D create your own character from everything that you look, everything from what they look like to what they're wearing to this and that. This guy, I think I created for one of the guys. I have some characters that I made here. Uh, Heroes. If I go to heroes, I'll probably need to sign in. I'll sign in later. I'll stick with that skeleton dude. Go back. Okay, there we go. But essentially, you can just create your guy, and then say you like him a lot. You can either print it at home, maybe have like a 3D printer, or you can order it, um, and they'll send you this little figurine so that when you're on your table and playing with your friends, you can put it on the table and you have a representation of your character model, right? Just like how you have your guy in Elder Ring. So Archive, you said it's a really good website for custom minis. It can be a bit pricey for certain ones, but it's consistently updating and lets you make all sorts of fun characters. Yes. So yeah, so that's the cool thing about this website Hero Forge. You can literally customize everything. So let's go. I don't remember. I don't remember using this guy at all. Maybe I'm pretty sure I created it for one of our guys. But you can change like their poses, how they're standing. Maybe you want them to stand like that or like this, like that. And that's probably the reason why it's more pricey, is because you can literally customize how your guy looks, and then it's cool 3D, and you can print it out. You can get it or get it printed out if you order it through them. Um, but yeah, there's other websites that you can maybe have to make a video on minis, but other websites that I know of, if you're unfamiliar, is Arc Knight. So I bought it, and I have some of these here at home. Um, so they have some flat plastic minis. So instead of being 3D models, right? So 3D models where they're gonna take up a little bit more room. I do like the flat mini ones because they take up less space. So there's Arc Knight. There's also skinny minis, which we worked with in the past, and they're also flat. They're a little bit nicer. Um, and this one, this set came out okay. It was okay set, but this is a bard party. These are all bards, and there's like different races from the games. It can be tieflings, and this is supposed to be a cat folk, and that's supposed to be a demon. But yeah, and they were just flat ones. Here we go. Here's like a picture. Yeah, so there's some other ones if you didn't hear about. I think Dwarven Forge has many as well, 3D ones, and yeah, I know there's some people who really like their, like if you go to eBay, for example, eBay.com, and then you go put in miniatures. I can spell it miniatures, and let's go D&D. We should put D&D. There's people who have this lot right here. Let's go this one. So it's a lot of 10 Dungeons and Dragons, and yeah, there you go. You see, they're all 3D model. These are older ones, and they're, when you buy these, they come just all gray or all brown, or all green, and then you gotta hand paint them yourself. um, which adds some charm to it, but it is time consuming. It's more of a hobby. Um, but then you got to find a place to store them. That's the other thing. And these seem like official Dungeons and Dragons ones, like from the actual company. Like, and some of these are already painted. You can buy them painted or unpainted, and you can paint them yourself. But that's a whole different topic when it comes to minis. Um, and they're not needed. This is just a way to make your table more, more interactive, more exciting if you like. Instead of saying like, "Hey, you see a Pegasus," you can like literally bring out the character model, right? That's what we're doing. Essentially, making your D&D table into that video game, by actually bringing out a Pegasus horse, right? Um, so Tara, honestly, I thought you had to go to mini makers. Didn't know you could print your own. Yeah, and there's also ones that you can print out at home. They call them papercraft or something like that. Papercraft D&D minis. Thank you for reminding me. So when I first was looking into all this type of stuff, um, so by the way, I have back there. I have some Dungeon Craft, um, but they're more for maps and stuff like that. But there are lots of places. So I'm just gonna go Pinterest. But there's um, what is the name? I totally forgetting right now. But there's a lot of places that if you search good enough, you can find paper D&D minis. Like here we go. This is printable. I mean, this is from Printable Heroes, and they're on Tumblr. They got their own website. Um, and the cool thing about them is that you can like change the color once you download the file. Like this goblin, you can make whatever they have them. I have like a green version of the goblin, maybe like or the skeleton, they'll make them red or whatever. Um, but you literally can print these out, and that's a free way to do it. And again, joining groups to find your stuff. So here we go. Oh, boom. Yeah. So you would download something like this, and yeah. So yeah, I'll put this one too because printable heroes are cool. Um, and they have a lot for free, just a super super lot for free. Um, yeah, that you can download. And so if say like you want this dwarven dude for your character, then you can just literally print it out, like download the file and print it out. So this is Tumblr. I'll put it in the chat as well, so it's there. Boom. Um, and I know that I think one of the other flat ones is GTG minis, but it's like geek to geek minis. There it is. And they actually partnered up with Printable Heroes. So these dudes, for a few of their plastic sets. So we go GTG minis, and then some of these are GTG. I mean, here we go, Printable Heroes. So hero set. I think this is hero sets, and then this one right here. Um, I know it's separated in one way or other, but I don't remember at this time. But anyways, you can look through them. They're really cool. I have some of these. Um, anyways, I don't want to get too sidetracked on the minis, but there's a bunch of ways. So again, if you really want to save, there's a bunch of more, and I can't remember the websites, but there's some websites. Search around. Um, I'll maybe make a video on this all separately, but this is just one of many free options for minis that you can find. And literally you can just type in um, D&D paper minis, and then just go to images, and there's probably a bunch that you can print out, right? And just play around. But yeah, you can find some for free. There's the skinny, there's the skinny type of minis. There you go, like they're flat. They just call them skin. This one's literally just called skinny minis, but they're just like flat plastic minis, essentially. So this is one of them, and then GTG minis is also flat. So I looked into these three before. And I know there's other ones too. Oh, there's official D&D ones, and then you also have your 3D ones. If you're into that, they're just a little more expensive, and you got to paint them. In most cases, you need to paint them. So like this right here. So here's a good example. They just come in this gray. Click to enlarge. Okay, this really enlarged too much. But you can see they're just gray, and you have to paint them, um, and then take up more room. But you decide if you want, and it's not a necessary thing for your games. Um, but I think if you are coming from a video game background like myself, like I know for me having that representation is really cool, and that's why like I bought like a bunch on one of the Skinny Minis starter Kickstarter when it came out. So finally got those, and yeah, enjoying them. See, on the you had to go mini market print your own. Anyways, gotta head off for now. Think I clogged your stream enough. No, appreciate you being here, Arcraft. Okay, so I think it's gonna be time to wrap up unless anyone else is here that is looking to make some noise. But hopefully that you're all having a great day, and that I will see you on Thursday. Okay, so make sure, and by the way, make sure to like for Critical Role. Let's go ahead and like the video right now, and again, yeah, for right now we'll keep it like that. Okay, definitely looking to bring you guys as much as value as I can, and help you out and get started with D&D if that's what you're looking to do. Chat, write your comments in the comments in the bottom here, and let me know if there's anything else that I can answer for you. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.